heard that poor Lord Deal met a tragic end in the Shrieking Skull.
Welcome to Redford Trading Post. How can I assist you with your import and export needs? I can track it down for you. What was its intended destination? Ah, that crate. I checked it myself. It was making some sort of odd noise. A chirping, if I recall. It's clearly contaminated, so we threw it out in the garbage heap for disposal. It's not worth the risk to our couriers, you understand. Out in the back with other impounded shipments waiting to be destroyed. You can pick it up if you want to assume the risk, but I cannot guarantee your safety. However, it is one less thing for me to deal with, so feel free to pick it up. If the shipment isn't destroyed already, it'll be in a pile near the waterfall.
Here, you can get a view of majestic Eldenroot in all its splendor.
My trusty courier! Did you have an exciting trip? Was it the import taxes again? I thought I paid those weeks ago. I was hoping that would hasten the process. My client is not exactly a patient woman, and I do not wish to upset her. What? Why? This is incredible. It's just common mushrooms and kwama jelly from Stonefalls. Nothing too exotic. Did you examine it? Does it seem dangerous? Kwama? No, this is no good. I don't need that here with all my other fragile shipments. Look, can you run this out to Alex right away? She'll have your payment. And try not to stare at her. She's easily distracted.
You reek of kwama juices. Why don't you come inside and spend some time with your Granny Alex? I'll have a hearty, chunky brain stew ready soon. Or do you like it spongy and raw? What? Oh, from that netch scab in Thoris? It's late. It's so very late. I've resorted to eating troll brains and maggot soup, and my potions have lost their delectable fetid flavor already. Of course I want it. Just pour it in the stew there, and if anything escapes, feel free to gobble it up as a tip. If you want, you can spend time with your old Granny Alex while the eggs pop and ooze into the sauce. You didn't drop a single one. I'm impressed. Come to think of it, I have been needing an apprentice. Nah? Don't care to keep company with your old granny, Alex? Or is it the smell of the boiling kwama? A little too heady for your delicate sensibilities? Oh well, I'll enjoy it all for myself. I always do. Why? Get out of here or jump in the stew. The choice is yours, Skeevertail. So, you didn't come to see your old Granny Alex to sit on her lap and hear a story? Didn't want to play Count the Warts, eh? I might have a couple scraps I could sell, but they could be cheaper if you knew how to make an old lady's teeth tingle. Why? You need something, eh? A tonic for your itchy bumps, a salve for your sore nethers, an unguent for critters in your hair?
Within the tree? How would one find him? The tree is so large.
You do not want to cross me.
Yes? Quickly now. Don't leave your mouth to hang agape. That again? My sister, Queen Irene, foolishly committed to build the Khajiit an embassy months ago. Everything was to be handled through Ambassador Tarinway at the Ultima Embassy. No, you don't get to question me. Not after you slew High Kinlady Estri. Do you think I'm one to have a chat with the person who killed my wife? That will break out the Sylphmead and share a good laugh? I suppose that's my burden. Very well, I won't give you the satisfaction of doubting my loyalty. You were asking after the Khajiit? Ask a stonemason. I have to prepare for the ratification ceremony before Queen Irene's arrival. I can't be troubled with such minor issues. If you care to pursue the matter, speak with Ambassador Tarinway at the Ultima Embassy. To promote harmony, she'd tell you. The same reason she picked this bizarre tree city as the Dominion's capital. She wants every member of the Dominion to feel as though they're equal. Oh, we need to be unified against our enemies, and having a high elf in charge is paramount to our success. But do we really need all this coddling? The ratification ceremony, the business with the embassy, more problems due to harmony. An archaic wood elf ritual. If she dances to their tune, Queen Irene will be recognized by the heavens as a worthy candidate for Emperor of Tamriel. Rubbish, if you ask me.
You're not one for waiting in lines, are you?
You can't just pave the Grahtwood.
I suppose a wanderer like you wouldn't know what busy looks like. I will demonstrate. Feel free to observe, quietly and from a distance. Oh, forgive my manners. There's so much to do in preparing for Queen Iren's ratification ceremony. Tempers fray, as I'm sure you can understand. But if Prince Naaman sent you, it must be important. What can I do for you? Why would Prince Naaman care about that? If they are too lazy to build their own embassy, can't they afford an inn? Well, of course, I ordered it done. I hired some wood elves to excavate the stone and set aside supplies for Khajiit to use. It isn't my fault if the locals couldn't do their jobs. Check our storeroom. The Khajiit didn't even bother to pick up the supplies. In the meantime, I'm off to locate Prince Naaman. If he didn't send you here with his blessing, I'll see you face Dominion justice. We'll see what Prince Naaman thinks of your impertinent questions.
This one is tired of waiting!
That's far enough. The storeroom is off limits. Ambassador Tarin weighs orders. She did? That's different then. Show me her orders and I'll stand aside. Then I can't let you inside. Her instructions were very specific. No one gets in without her written permission. I'm to remain at my post until relieved. Except in an emergency, of course. The Khajiits could riot. That would be bad. Very bad. Or a fire, of course. But the chances of that happening are slim. What? Did you hear that? I could have sworn it was my captain calling me away.
This work never ends.
Where is the guard? And what are you doing here? I'd expected you would solve problems at the embassy, not cause them. Do you realize what's happening out here? Oh, never mind. Explain what you were doing in that storeroom. Why would she do that? Oh, never mind. Well, what did you find? Typical bureaucratic corruption. I expected better of the ambassador. No matter. Supplies can be replaced. What about the Khajiit embassy? Did she say why construction hasn't begun? What do you mean, collect stone? That should have happened months ago. They should be ready to build it. I'll talk to the ambassador myself. Put the fear of the Dominion into her. I'm surprised we didn't pass each other on the road. Get to those ruins and find that work crew. I want to know why they haven't done their jobs. I won't have Queen Iren's word impugned by someone else's incompetence.
How can you ignore your allies like this?
You there. We need to talk. Saw you standing over the body of a dead wood elf. Nearly put an arrow in your throat. Good thing I recognize you. Azerith, I'm Dusk Ranger. We work directly for King Camoran Eredon. Saw you earlier in the throne room. The king had his suspicions about the missing work crew and asked me to look into it. Seems we both have a stake in this. I know enough. Khajiit owed an embassy. They're angry the High Elves are dragging their feet to build it. Seemed like politics until a dozen stonemasons vanished without a trace. The king sent me to find out why. Before the Dominion, King Camoran Eredon nearly lost a civil war. I came to see if the missing stonemasons were targeted by the Blacksap Rebellion. But Blacksap would have displayed the bodies, not left them as food for Horvor. The king suspects Ambassador Tarinway has been up to no good. Little things, some of her associations. But he can't accuse his allies of undermining the whole alliance. So he sent me to deal with it. Ambassador Tarinway used criminals to smuggle supplies. Never directly, but enough for us to notice. I'm not saying she had these stonemasons killed, but I'd like to ask her myself. Problem is, there's nothing we can do while she's in the Altmer embassy. If she left the embassy, she knows someone's onto her. She'll go to ground, try to flee. Have someone smuggle her out of Grahtwood. We should probably stop her. Meet me by the Middens, at the base of the Elden Tree. I'll be there shortly. They call this place the Middens because it's where all the refuse ends up. We clear them out now and again, but they always come back. Necessary evil, I'm told. Spoke with someone I trust. She's definitely here. We should get moving. We're not far behind her. Capture her, bring her in for questioning. Find proof she's behind this so Prince Naiman doesn't explode with outrage. Never thought I'd hunt a High Elf ambassador. Smugglers, skooma addicts, and more than a few criminals. They keep to themselves, but sometimes they band together to repel outsiders. Kind of like a filthier version of the Dominion. Our goal is to find Ambassador Tarinway before she buys passage out of Grahtwood. Staying in the shadows, avoiding unnecessary conflict, that's what I'd do. But there's a lot of ground to search. I'll follow your lead.
Prince Naiman sent someone to the embassy. We have to leave before we're discovered.
It's too late! For the heretic!
On your feet! You're coming with me!
Why? Where are you taking me?
To King Camoran Eredon, where you'll answer for crimes against the Dominion.
He'll have me killed and served for dinner.
Only if you're proven guilty. And if you are, none of us could stomach you. Now get moving! Good working with you. I'll take her from here. You should inform the king of the good news.
Proxy, fate has plucked you from the flotsam of chaos for this specific moment.
You've returned. What have you learned of the Khajiit embassy? Oh, good. Nothing I enjoy more than talk of conspiracy. Did the ambassador have a manifesto? They usually have manifestos. No matter. I trust you resolved it. Splendid. I'll allow you the honor of informing Prince Naemon. Why not tell him the duly selected High Elf ambassador was working against the very dominion she pledged to support? I'll sit in my throne and try not to gloat.
I heard what you said to the king. Ambassador Tarinway, a traitor, my wife's killer, a loyal servant, and I, Queen Iren's representative in Eldenroot, required to thank you for your efforts. Very well. I'll provide no reason to question my duty to the Dominion. We'll interrogate Ambassador Tarinway until we know the extent of her treason. Then she'll die, as all traitors must. But no matter. Your efficiency in resolving this matter was commendable, and the Dominion rewards its servants. Ambassador Tarinway's betrayal could not have been more absolute. She knew the details of the ratification ceremony, which puts Queen Iren at risk. It's my sister's own fault. She thought to appease the Sylvanar and the Main by agreeing to this foolish process. The ratification ceremony ends with the orrery, an ancient device beneath Eldenroot. It will divine Queen Iren's capacity to become Empress, or some such. But Ambassador Tarinway assisted in the preparations. I must assume she tried to sabotage the proceedings. Doing so would make Queen Iren look weak. No, we must proceed. You've proven your competence, so I'll ask you to speak with Melaras. He's an expert on the orrery and knows what must be done. Quite pleasant once you grow accustomed to the smell. Khajiiti political excuses are impossible. The preparations for this ratification ceremony seem endless, but I'm up to the task. She asked how she could prove herself their rightful leader. The Sylvanar suggested the orrery nonsense, and the Main agreed. Of course, neither will be present to see it, yet my sister is held to her pledge. How unexpected. Khajiiti political excuses are impossible to discern. I know the Main will not be present, and that's all I care to know. As for the Sylvanar, he died on Kenathi's roost. Thought he could negotiate with the filthy sea elves. King Camoran Eredan. It's beneath his city, so there's no turning him away. And myself, of course.
Please don't mind Prince Naemon. Ambassador Tarinway's betrayal is a shock to us all. But no matter, the orrery must work flawlessly for the Queen. That's what we will ensure. Enough to be of service. The orrery hasn't functioned as intended for ages. We planned to use some rather delicate magic to trick it into operation, but that is no longer necessary, thanks to your magnificent work on our behalf. Not much. You've done extraordinary work, and just in time for Queen Iren's arrival. Imagine the chance to see the orrery operate. Conservator Dereneth is preparing Queen Iren as we speak. We should really head in there and get started. The ratification ceremony isn't going to perform itself after all. And from what I understand, Conservator Dereneth wanted to speak with you personally.